Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe, Dandava Pranam. So we are continuing with some more glories of Sri Narottam Das Thakur. Arti and Tulsi Parikrama have just ended. It's cold. Hare Krishna. Do you remember where we left off? Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Srila Narottam Das Thakur Ki Jai. Okay. Where do we leave off? Okay, thank you. So, Narottam Das Thakur didn't just go back into the material world like most would do if their gurus were to say, "You're not qualified for this, you should go back into the material world." Yes, I have a license for nonsense. No. Sri Narottam Das Thakur went along with Shyamananda and Srinivas Acharya. Srinivas was senior to both of them. So he was like the Shiksha Guru of Narottam and Shyamananda. And they brought the books of the Goswamis toward Bengal for the purpose of preaching the deepest conceptions of the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they wanted to make many copies and to preach. So they were carrying with them these trunks of books, and they ended up in a place called Vanavishnupur, which was run by a mafioso dacoit king named King Bir Hambir. And he had an astrologer, this king. And the astrologer told him, very soon a group will be coming through who has the most valuable treasure you could ever imagine, much more valuable than any other treasure we have taken previously. So he was very excited. He asked his astrologer, "Are you sure?" He said, "If I've ever been right, I am right this time." So the king was very excited. He knew that some would be coming through soon. And of course, Srinivas, Shyamananda, and Narottam, they were always very careful. They had the original books, original manuscripts of the Goswamis. So it was quite a important task that they had, because if it were to be taken or missing, it could be gone forever. So they would take turns staying up because they were going on foot, but they had a bullock cart bringing the books. And that very night, the king ordered some of his guards, dacoit guards, "You should go and steal whatever they have, but don't kill them." He didn't know what it was, but in his heart he thought, don't hurt them, don't kill them. Go in a sneaking way and take this. So they took the treasure. Somehow, by that amazing coincidence, Narottam, Srinivas, and Shyamananda, all three had fallen asleep. This is by the will of Yogamaya, who sat on their eyelids in the form of sleep, and these books were taken. When they woke up, they were completely devastated. What have we done? We have failed in our service. We have lost the original books of the six Goswamis. This was completely devastating for them. They did not know what to do. It is said that they were weeping and fainting again and again, desperate. So Srinivas Acharya told them, "I will stay in this area and I will search." He told Shyamananda, "You should go toward Orissa and you should preach there." And he told Narottam he should go to Bengal, Assam, in that area and preach there. And if he finds the books, then he will send them a message. So the whole thing was actually a pretext for them to send out the preaching parties. Sri Shyamananda Prabhu preached far and wide and made thousands and thousands of disciples. Very successful preaching. Srinivas Acharya stayed where he was, and he also was very successful. And eventually that king became his disciple, and then all of the books were returned. And Narottam Das, by this time Narottam had the title Thakur, Shyamananda had the title Prabhu, and Srinivas had the title Acharya, which they all received from Sri Jeev Goswami. So Sri Narottam Das Thakur had gone to Bangladesh, Assam, Bengal, and all the way up to Manipur. He even converted the king of Manipur to Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So the whole country became Gaudiya Vaishnava. To this day, they're all familiar with the bhajans of Narottam Das Thakur and wear our Udva Pundra Gauriya Vaishnava tilak in Manipur. So, Hare Krishna. Sri Narottam Das Thakur had very, very successful preaching. All of his kirtans were being shared, and he was preaching through a very special style. I can't remember the term for his particular style of kirtan, but he had a particular style of kirtan. Srinivas had his own particular style of kirtan, and Shyamananda had his style of kirtan. Very beautiful, full of bhav, full of mood. He would sing the glories of Sachinandan Gaurahari and Nityananda Prabhu. So after some time, Sri Narottam Das Thakur was becoming more and more famous among the Vaishnavas because of his one-pointed mood to the lotus feet of Sachinandan Gaurahari and Nityananda Prabhu. He was so dedicated that all began to respect him more and more. It is said that he made the first Gaur Purnima Mahamahotsava festival in Keturi Gram. So that's actually the place of his birth. He was sent back to that place because his guru actually felt, Srila Gurudev was explaining, or Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Maharaj, one of them, were explaining that it would be beneficial for the people to see the kind of renunciation that the son of a king has undertaken due to ecstatic attachment to the lotus feet of Gaur Nityananda and Radha and Krishna. How tasteful is that kind of seva that one would give up being a king with all of that wealth and everything. So his preaching could be very powerful. And it was. So Narottam Das was getting acclaim everywhere. And he invited all of the remaining associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas from everywhere to this festival in Keturi. It is said that it was one of the, if not the largest Gaudiya Vaishnava festival ever. Srila Gurudev told this. Hundreds of thousands of devotees came from everywhere. Shyamananda Prabhu came, Srinivas Acharya came. The leader at that time of all of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the eternal consort of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Janava Thakurani, she was presiding there. Sri Achyutananda, the son of Advaita Acharya, and other sons of Advaita Acharya came. Who else? Yes, Janava Ma was also cooking for the festival. It's okay, she had many arms. And the purpose of this festival was not only in remembrance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but was to establish concretely the pure teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so that it would be fixed. Because so many groups were forming, and already even by the time of Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, you read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, 13 Upasampradayas had formed. Now there are thousands and thousands. And so the purpose of that was that those who were the near and dear associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they would come and confirm so that everyone could hear and see what Mahaprabhu's teachings are, what are the true teachings of Shastra, and so that everyone would be on the same page without any adulteration or watering down of the teachings. That's why Gurudev established the Rupa Goswami conference, and we also now require the Bhaktivinoda Thakur conference. These things are necessary because over time, it is time which gradually dilutes. Krishna said this in Bhagavad Gita, that I originally gave this knowledge to the sun god Vivishwan, but over time, due to the influence of time, it became lost. And now I have to again tell it, so I'm telling that same transcendental knowledge to you, O Arjuna. So this is what happens over time. So Sri Narottam Das Thakur brought everyone together. And by the mood that he was manifesting within his kirtan, this is very powerful and important. He was weeping and crying while calling out the glories of Sri Sachinandan Gaurahari. At that time, those whose hearts were pure and who could witness the pastimes of Sachinandan Gaurahari witnessed that Nityananda Prabhu, Sachinandan Gaurahari, Gadadhar Pandit, Advaita Acharya, all of these transcendental associates of Mahaprabhu came and joined in this kirtan. And everyone who was witnessing, including Janava Thakurani, she was seeing her own dear Sri Nityananda Prabhu all were weeping and crying. And those who couldn't see were weeping and crying at the weeping and crying of everyone else. It was such a beautiful festival. This was the quality of the kirtan of Sri Narottam Das Thakur. So from that festival then, his fame became even greater. And everyone started coming to him for shelter. Sri Narottam Das Thakur also had found these Thakurji, deities, many different sets of Thakurji. I don't know all of their names, but Radha, Krishna, there was one basket that had grain and snakes in it, but when he went to that place, that snake turned into, Gaur Vishnupriya. And I read this today, it was in Bhakti Ratnakar. In front of everyone's eyes, those deities walked and came onto the lap of Narottam Das. So everyone knew this person is no ordinary personality. He's something else, something divine, something transcendental. So many began taking initiation from Sri Narottam Das because of his complete conviction and not only his conviction, but his very strong ability to defend and present the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with all shastric and tattvik evidence. I mean, he was personally trained by Srila Jiva Goswami, so there you go. So Sri Narottam Das was initiating those who were coming to him, and so many big Brahmins were also coming to him for initiation. It so happened that Narottam Das came from a kingly class known as Kayashta. This created some dissension. One person, I can't remember his name, he said, "What is this low-born Shudra doing initiating Brahmanas?" That person developed leprosy very quickly, became very sick, and then his worshipable deity came to him and said, "You have made a great offense. You should take shelter and surrender and apologize at the feet of Sri Narottam Das." So he realized his mistake by the glory of his Ishta Devi and went and took shelter at the feet of Sri Narottam Das. But still so many were upset and so many were very happy. So many persons who came to him, I can't remember their names, Ganga Narayan Chakravarti, so many were very, very qualified, very erudite Vaishnavas, but also so simple in their heart. They were taking shelter of Sri Narottam Das Thakur. One day there was a very jealous personality who decided, he was like a king, that we need to put a stop to all of this nonsense. In fact, he was being told that Narottam was using some kind of magic and tantra to bewilder people's minds, that Brahmins were taking initiation from the Kayashtas, those who were beneath, from that person who was beneath their level. So they made a plan. I can't remember, Rupa Narayan was his name, that a very, very learned personality would go and defeat Narottam Das in front of everyone in such a way that he would be silenced and everyone else, all of his disciples, would be silenced. This was the plan. At that time, Sri Narottam Das Thakur was in his elderly age and he was manifesting an interesting pastime of being apparently paralyzed. He was so deeply absorbed in Nam and remembering the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, weeping for the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu and Sachinandan Gaurahari, that it appeared that he was paralyzed and couldn't move. So his disciples decided, we will serve our Gurudev. What did they do? Many of them. They went to the nearby town, which would have been the stop just before the place of Sri Narottam Das Thakur, that all of the big Brahmins would stop. It was a big meeting. So many were coming, they all wanted to witness how Narottam would be defeated by this amazing Pandit. So these devotees disciples of Sri Narottam Das, they went to that town and they took the positions of menial shopwallas, selling banana leaves, selling pan, this and that and everything else. And then when these Brahmins came, "Oh, who are you?" "Oh, I am so-and-so, this Trivedi, Chaturvedi, this one, that one," big names, big titles. "And where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from such and such a village. What is your name? What is your this and that?" They were asking all these questions. And then in pure, high class, very refined Sanskrit, these very seemingly poor, uneducated shopwallas started preaching the conceptions of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and all Shastras in such a way that all of those big pundits were completely shocked. Oh my God. If even the lowest of the low, Shapwalas, followers of this Narottam, have this kind of erudition, then imagine their guru. And they're like, I think perhaps we shouldn't come here. It won't be a good idea. And then after that, that person who was sent for the purpose of thwarting the preaching of Sri Narottam Das, I think his name was Rupa Narayan, if I'm not mistaken, he was also told by his worshipable deity that actually your intent to destroy Narottam is offensive. You should go and offer pranam and take shelter of him. So the biggest of all, biggest pundits also took shelter of Sri Narottam Das. It happened again and again. But I'll tell this right now before I tell the last one. So he took shelter of Sri Narottam Das Thakur. Very important lesson is here. According to Vishnu Purana, anyone who judges a Vaishnava according to their birth or according to the activities that they have performed before coming to the path of Vaishnavism is paving a pathway to hell for themselves. So Sri Narottam Das Thakur, on the order of Lokanath Goswami, his Gurudev, went back to Keturi Gram, which is his place where he was born and where he was raised, where he received that prem of Mahaprabhu. And there he showed by his own nature that Naham Vipro, Nacha Narapati, Napi Vaishyo Nashudro, Naham Varni, Nacha Grihapati, Nova Nosto Yatirva, Kintu Prodyan Nikila Paramananda Purnamritabdher, Gopi Bhartu Patakamalayor Dasa Das Anudasa. Mahaprabhu is saying, I am not a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. I am not a Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha or Sannyas. My only identity is that I am a servant of the servant of the servant of that Krishna who is the beloved of Srimati Radhika. I have no other identity than this. When Srila Gurudev was telling this verse, he made it his own identity. My only identity is that I am a maidservant of Srimati Radhika. Nothing other than this, he was saying. So, this is the teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is not that Brahmanas should not be respected, but really they should understand what is the glory of the pure devotee of the Lord. To only push one's birth. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, one who is proud of their birth, their place of birth, their high education and all of these things, they're no better than a cow or an ass. Sa eva gokara. They're no better than a foolish animal because they're only in body consciousness. So the disciples of Sri Narottam Das Thakur were preaching about Jiva Tattva, Jaiva Dharma, that the soul is none of these things. These are all external. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said the same thing to Ramananda Rai. When Ramananda Rai mentioned Varnashram is the topmost, Mahaprabhu said, this is external, go deeper. Straight up. This was the first thing that Ramananda Rai told. And Mahaprabhu wanted him to go more high, more deep, and more pure. He said, because this is all external to do with the body. But what about the Atma? What about the soul? So Sri Narottam Das Thakur was initiating. Why? Because he was qualified to. What is the qualification for someone who can take the role of guru? Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jifva Vegam, Udorapasta Vegam. They should be able to control the urge of speech, the urges of the mind, the urges of anger, the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals. That person who can control all of these urges, Sarvam Apimam Pritibim Sashishyat, they are qualified to accept disciples all over the world. And what is the most important qualification? Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shrey Uttamam Shabde Pare Chanishnatam. Yes, yes, and yes, but Brahman Nyupas Samashrayam. They are 100% surrendered to Parabrahma Shri Krishna. And secondary, they know all Vedas, all Shastras, and they can remove all of your doubt through the medium of Shastra. But the most important quality is their surrender, complete surrender to Krishna. So, this is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai were discussing What is really the qualification? Kiba vipra, kiba nyasi, shudra kenenoi, ye Krishna tattva beta se guru hoy. Whether one is a brahmana, kiba vipra, kiba nyasi, whether one is renounced, shudra, whether one is a shudra. Ramananda Rai was considered shudra. He's the guru of everyone. Ye Krishna tattva beta, who understands and knows Krishna in truth, say guru hoy. They are guru. So Narottam Das Thakur is the guru of the whole world. So at one point, as he was manifesting this pastime of being paralyzed, there was rumors floating around that, he got paralyzed as an offense, aparad, due to his initiating brahmanas. So his disciples came to him and pleaded, please, we don't like to hear this kind of thing, that they're saying this about you. Please disprove what they are saying. So, Yeah, so Narottam said, okay. From apparent, what looked like paralysis, he stood up and started running around as if he was a young child again, running here and there, no problem. And then everyone saw that, okay, he's able to do this. Then he went back into that situation. And then it is said, no one knows. Narottam Das did not leave this world like anyone else. He entered into Padma River, and it is said that he just melted into it like milk flows into water. Just like that. So Sri Narottam Das Thakur is no ordinary personality. Really, if we want to attain the mercy of Sri Sachinandan Gaurahari, if we want to attain the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami, if we want to attain the mercy of our Guru Varga, we should take shelter of the prayers of Sri Narottam Das. It is told by all of our Guru Varga that we are in the Narottam Parivar. Yes, we are coming in the line of Rupa Goswami, Rupa Anuga, but Narottam Parivar, and then Bhakti Vinodhara. So Narottam Das Thakur's name is prominently mentioned as one of those brilliant guiding lights on our journey toward our perfection. Narottam Parivar. And so I want to reiterate again what Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj told about Sri Narottam Das Thakur, that if you want to attain Prem, Krishna Prem, then you should acquire 2 books. Both of these books are books of Sri Narottam Das Thakur, Prarthana and Prema Bhakti Chandrika. Prarthana has bhajans in it like Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharir, and Prem Bhakti Chandrika has bhajans in it like Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. So many beautiful bhajans, but really the import of these bhajans is the most powerful thing. How Sri Narottam Das Thakur has prayed, how he was always weeping in separation, how his conviction is and his desperate mood at the feet of Sri Rupa, the feet of Nityananda Prabhu, the feet of Sri Sachinandan Gaurahari. Read Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Semor Sampara, Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala, Gorangero Duti Pada Jar Dhana Sampara, Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugala Kishore. What kind of bhavs are there? So I wanted to share Srila Gurudev's prayer. I don't know where it is. Is it here or here? Here. Srila Gurudev offered a prayer to Sri Narottam Das Thakur, and I want to share that prayer with all of you. And at another time we will read the Ashtakam that Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written for Sri Narottam Das Thakur. So Srila Gurudev's prayer to Narottam Das is also a prayer on our behalf. So we should also have this prayer in our heart for Sri Narottam Das Thakur. So we beg at his lotus feet that today he will be merciful to us and bestow his mercy upon us. We are so unqualified, unworthy, and insignificant, but by his mercy we can chant purely, come in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates in Guru Parampara, and thus become qualified. We should pray like this today. We pray that the songs he has written should be manifest in our heart, and we can realize and practice all of these things truly. Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki jai, Tadya Avirbhav Maha Mahotsava ki jai.
When Gurudev wrote this, it was in Bengali or
This was a class that he gave in English. I believe maybe in Bali. I was just reading through. But I saw that and I thought, wow, beautiful prayer for the mercy of Narottam Das Thakur.
So do we read it again?
You want me to read it again? Okay, again. So Srila Gurudev is praying to Sri Narottam Das Thakur on our behalf. And his behalf, of course. So we beg at his lotus feet that today he will be merciful to us and bestow his mercy upon us. We are so unqualified, unworthy, and insignificant, but by his mercy we can chant purely, come in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates in Guru Parampara, and thus become qualified. We should pray like this today. We pray that the songs he has written should be manifest in our heart, and we can realize and practice all of these things truly. Shri Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Hari Hari Bifale Janama Goainu Manushya Janama Paya Radha Krishna na bhajiya Janiya Shunya Bhisha Kainu. Huh? Just a Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Thakur Narottama, Thakur Narottama, Narottama, Thakur Narottama. Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev. Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Narottam Das Thakur ki jai, Tadiya Avirbhav Maha Mahotsava ki jai, Shri Radha Gopinaju ki jai, Shri Maghi Purnima ki jai, Shri Krishna Madhur Utsava ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Two little bits of information. Shri Narottam Das Thakur appeared on this day, Maghi Purnima, the day that he actually gave up his home, ran away and everything. That was Sharad Purnima, the first day of Kartik. And then the day of his initiation was another Purnima. I can't remember the name. So somehow these Purnimas are very beneficial. Jai. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.